Hello there, Bandit Racing League fans. Former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. You put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're going to move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're going to move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rink. You add it to your cart and you're going to move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and there you go, Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that Full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly, Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Simtrax Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here with the Bandit Racing League, and no better place to be here than at Atlanta. And no, not the Super Speedway Atlanta, the old school Atlanta, the one I preferably enjoy. Seeing these guys out here racing, nice wide turns, super top speeds out here. We'll see guys touching just barely off of 200 miles an hour. Side-by-side racing should be a great time here tonight, and I cannot wait to get this one kicked off, as qualifying has already kind of been rolling on through. 20 drivers have already put down some times. Unfortunately, Bill Harkins down there at the very bottom. Carter Phillips sitting 19th, Jason Greenwell in the 18th spot. But right now, top of the chart is going to be John Osborne, as we are seeing Kevin Foster go around for his second time here tonight. And Foster, it looks like he's going to settle down into 13th, but a man on the move was Mason Flagar. He moves up to the 5th spot, but let's go ahead and take a look at our race here tonight. 130 laps, of course, 70% fuel limit, 4 sets of tires down in the pits, and these guys will have one fast repair, fortunately. Me, your lead producer tonight, Stella, still rocking it out over there in Europe. Last time I got an update, she was actually in Switzerland. So I think she's enjoying her time over there. She was on a train, which is pretty cool. Hopefully we'll get some decent stories over there out of her, but we will hopefully be able to give her a great story about a race like this tonight. Of course, Nicole Krazel and Bradley Shin, our race control here tonight. As you see, the pace car comes slamming down out there on the track, and 104-degree temperature. Boy, oh boy, that should be fantastic, especially for these 87 vehicles, which we are racing again here tonight, as we had a great race last week. A couple of guys, as we had a couple of quick cautions there, and everything smoothed out, went very, very well. And I'm glad to see that. I'm hoping that's going to transfer over to tonight, where these guys have been very, very attentive behind the wheel and looking to put on a great show here tonight. Now, fortunately, we were looking at that medevac helicopter. Hopefully, we won't have to use that here tonight, as unfortunately, everybody's still out there in the old, not full-face helmets out there, as they're in the 3/4, so that's going to be pretty tough for them to get through that. All right, well, let's go ahead and look at our starting grid here for tonight, which I am excited to see get kicked off here as we get on the way here with our sponsor here tonight of Perfect Shine Auto Spa. Let's get her on the board here. John Osborne and Cody Welch starting 1 and 2. Benjamin Lacey starting on the inside of row number 2 with Nick Nickerson to the outside. Expect Nickerson to be on the move. Mason Flagar sits 5th. Connor Gibson, our Canadian, sitting in the 6th spot. Sean Britt 7th, and Eddie Hagge will be starting in the 8th spot. Moving on to Ricky Hart. Now, Ricky Hart had a dismal finish in the last run, but he's going to sit 9th here tonight. And Marshall Crocker, glad to see him joining back out here tonight in the number 78 Chevrolet. Let's see how he does. We've seen him doing some paint schemes out here. Let's see how he can do behind the wheel. David Lakey will be starting in 11th next to Hayden Paul. Still waiting for Paul to get behind the wheel out there. I don't know if he's trying to get everything cleaned up a little bit and get ready for this race here tonight. All right, let's move on to the rest of our field, where Kevin Foster sits 13th. Paul Wilson is our 14th place driver. Boy, that's going to be tough. Jackson Knock sitting in the 15th, and I think I can pretty much guarantee you that is not where he wanted to start. So all our Knocksters out there, hopefully we can see him shoot his way up to the front and safely. Christopher Ferreira sitting in 16th. Bob Berry 17th, and Ethan Sikorsky is in the 18th spot. Now, Bob Berry out there in the 75 machine, you may remember that Tide getting mashed to pieces out there last week, especially missing the right front of his vehicle, and hopefully he does better here tonight. Following the final guys in our field, Jason Greenwell, Carter Phillips, Bill Harkins, and I believe Douglas Ross, yes, was able to get behind the wheel. He had to run for a fire call last run out there in the Folgers machine, and Jonathan Platt, I believe he left before we were able to qualify, which is really a shame, because I think Jonathan Platt may have had a good race here tonight and been able to enjoy some decent time out there on the track. Guys, I see you out there in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging in there and getting ready for this one. Nick Nickerson out there in the big red propane machine, and we're getting ready to go. All right, here at Atlanta, getting ready to get this one kicked off. Everybody pretty excited here. Mama Goose out there rooting on Christopher Ferreira. I believe Brett Guzik is going to be out of power for quite some time. And it's going to be pretty tough. We'll see how he is able to do and if he is able to return. What do you say we get underway? But I believe we got our first driver. I think a lap went around there. It looks like somebody just got punted right out into the field there. I don't know if somebody dumped him, but that is not looking good, especially to get this one kicked off here. Lap number 1 underway. We've already got guys skidding out of control and heading right into the infield there. I'm trying to see if I can find any kind of an update as to what happened and how soon that happened and why. And we'll take a peek at it here at Atlanta. We want to give a shout out to LAT Racing Oils, Apex Racing out there, FMR Performance, and Geezer Authentics for signing on for yet another year. Guys, the Bandit Racing League is always looking for sponsorship out there. If you're looking to sponsor a league, get your business out here and be able to get seen. This is definitely a good place to look at it. Right now, John Osborne, who started on the pole, has fallen back down to 4th here. Looking pretty tight out there on the track. Everybody's starting to scoot around just a little bit. I believe Mason Flagar just trying to hold on to that 6th spot as he is starting to roll backwards a little bit in his Ford Thunderbird out there. And right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think that is dude wipes on the back of his car. We're seeing how he does. Eddie Hagge on the roll. Yep, that is dude wipes there. All right, battle for the lead, though. Nick Nickerson, we can see him right up front. He's getting out. And Nickerson's going to try to put Cody Welch back in the rearview mirror. And remember, these two were duking it out last race as well. Definitely those two guys were getting a little ahead of themselves and ended up tanking each other out there. So hopefully they're going to be able to do it again. Cody Welch here to the inside. As it looks like he's rocking the Superflow Chevrolet out there. The Monte Carlo down on the bottom. Great looking vehicles out here. Benjamin Lacey sitting out there in his Pontiac, sitting third. Let's see if we can get a ride along with him. Everybody trying to be nice and easy. These tires not. Ooh, nice move. Benjamin Lacey around the outside. He's got him. Great turn there. And he does make the clear. And that means Nick Nickerson's Buick is going to have to go back to the drawing board and see if he can run him back down. Benjamin Lacey to the outside, still hanging out there. He's going to have to turn exit speed to see if he can run down Cody Welch, who's going to lead lap number 5 on the number 6 here. Not too bad. We'll rotate back to Bob Berry in the Tide machine. He's up 3 here on tonight, so a couple of different fumble ups out there on the track has set a couple of people offset here. Hayden Paul, Ricky Hart Jr., and Carter Phillips. Phillips all the way down here right now, 22nd. That was the driver and the Ben & Jerry's machine we saw slinging into the grass. So pretty tough here. Lead keeps switching back and forth, though, between Benjamin Lacey, Welch, and Nickerson. Right now, 1, 2, 3. These guys have got over a half a second lead over the rest of the field. Not bad, as Nickerson definitely using every inch of this track and trying to cut off Cody Welch from coming down on him there. No can do, as Nickerson's still going to be playing chase here. And, well, there it's not super slow. Not bad. I definitely want to make sure everybody's able to see that. All right. Not bad. You've got to really pay attention as these guys paint. These guys paints, you really got to pay attention. I see Jay out there. He noticed as well. Yeah, the dude wipes on the back of the car. Super slow out there. Running right now in third. So Welch, Lacey, Nickerson, and Welch. Right now we got a Pontiac, a Buick, and a Chevrolet. Finally find our Ford back here with John Osborne. Mason Flagard is sitting right behind him in fifth. Connor Gibson fights back into that sixth spot. But remember what I said about Jackson Knock. As they sling past the start-finish line here, Jackson Knock has moved up 8 positions. He's already fought himself up in the OxyClean machine, sitting 7th. Not too bad here. And now we'll see if Jackson Knock has got his, no, he didn't. Mr. Knock booted up, no can do. All right. Check out Paul Wilson in the 82 sitting right behind him. Right now, I got to admit, taking a look, they call themselves the Cool Kids Club Racing out there. They have kind of bundled together out there. That consisting of Benjamin Lacey, Cody Welch, Kevin Foster, Marshall Crocker, Nick Nickerson, Paul Wilson, Ricky Hart, and Sean Britt. There's a driver we haven't talked about at all, Sean Britt out there. Britt is out there on the track in the number 5 Chevrolet. It look like the Weathermaster machine doing a fantastic job here so far. Unfortunately, losing 2 positions here so far, though. His Chevrolet is not having the best of times out there. But he is still running 2 wide out there with Paul Wilson to the outside. And Eddie Haggie quickly starting to reel these guys in. Haggie dropping down from 8th to 10th, fights up into 9th now as they go 3 wide around the turn. And Paul Wilson gets marched out. Falls all the way down to the 11th spot, so his roll is going to finish. Benjamin Lacey, ooh, up into the wall. So Lacey getting into the wall, that does allow Nick Nickerson to get by here. With that being said, Cody Welch is going to try to attack down from the bottom as well. Lacey in trouble. Wondering what he can do. Lacey able to stop the bleeding there. Settles into second. Welch backing off. Now, of course, this league does not hold any stages. And checking out there during practice, and some of these guys have been spending a good bit of time out here on the track, giving a good feel for it. I believe we're looking all the way about 50 laps is what we're going to be seeing out there on fuel here tonight. So as about how far they're going to stretch it. It could be less if they're in the lead, which Nickerson now has. We still keep rolling. Let's roll back and check in on Marshall Crocker, who's, I believe, on the outside of a 3 wide. Is he going to be able to make the clear? Looks like he does. Eddie Hagge still holding on the bottom. Right now, Sean Britt has been in some trouble here. Whoop. Little slip up there by Britt. That's going to allow Hagge to get about a fender length and more. As Hagge gets around him at over 175 miles an hour. So not bad here. Hagge still rolling around the track, 140 miles an hour, trying to run down Marshall Crocker. Chevrolet in front, Chevrolet behind. Right now, this is looking like a great race so far. 14 laps, no cautions. And the 78 machine of Marshall Crocker trying to dive underneath of Jackson Knock here. Knock not having too bad of a run. Still sitting in 7th, though. As he has gone up and about met his match. I'm hoping he hasn't melted the tires off that thing yet. Right now, these two have been almost side-by-side all race, Hagge and Crocker. Right now, Eddie Hagge, yep, he's still going to hang on to it. Let's check in on the 97 here. Okay, amounts of concentration you see with Eddie Hagge looking dead square at that screen. He does not seem to be looking anywhere else, not even over at the black box, letting him know what the car is doing out there. He's on it. Right now, very smooth Eddie Hagge is, though, especially riding on that bottom line. As tough as this track is, and as much as it bumps around on you, he seems to be having plenty of control with it, though. Ride along with here with Hagge. John Osborne way up there is starting to already start making a couple different shifts here. Benjamin Lacey now drops down to that 3rd spot. Pontiac is rolling backwards now. Right now, I guarantee you Richard Petty would say there's nothing wrong with that car. Might be the guy behind the wheel. But Nickerson still holding out front. Lap number 17 about to be completed here. Nickerson will have it. Right now, I'm waiting for somebody else to come into play here. I am still watching Jackson Knock. He has passed Mason Flagar. Flagar rolling backwards. Uh-oh. Flagar caught in the middle. Whew. All right. Looks like he is able to get out of that situation. Got into the playoffs last year, but barely missed it. Not the Final Four and was so close. Whoa. Kind of checking out the attitude out there of Eddie Hagge. Behind the scenes, he says he will not be missing the playoffs this time. He's going to meet all these guys in the Final Four, feeling confident out there in the 87s. Next, we'll move over into the Xfinity cars. We'll run 3 races with the Xfinities. And then after that, we're going to watch these guys get into the next-gen cars, which is a love-hate relationship for some of these drivers out there and that vehicle. Watching these guys race over a 40-year span is excellent. John Osborne looking to dive here to the bottom of Benjamin Lacey. Lacey still staying confident that that high line is going to be the winning line here. Nickerson does take his half out of the center. And John Osborne sitting 3rd. Welch has dropped out of the top 3. Welch hanging in 4th. You see Connor Gibson starting to float into the picture now. And right now, not bad from Connor Gibson. Starting to really make it happen here. And it's easier said than done. So the Busch machine ride shotgun here with him, watching out front. We are chasing Cody Welch in his Chevrolet. Oddly enough, where all the Chevrolets are placed, 4th through 9th. Ford separated pretty well. And I'm not seeing any Buicks or Pontiacs reaching up to get a little more Only driver to drive a Pontiac is Benjamin Lacey. All right, side by side, Benjamin Lacey and John Osborne. This is the battle for second. On lap number 21, diving into 3 here. Osborne holding on that low line. Welch is trying to help a little bit with the draft. But I wouldn't say the 87s held on very well. And speaking of holding on, Nick Nickerson almost loses it here. Nickerson starting to sweat bullets there after that turn. The exit of 4. Driver coming out of pit road now, Douglas Ross. That's him in the Folgers machine. And drivers who have come down pit road already would be Kevin Foster, Douglas Ross, and David Lakey. Lakey actually had to come down into pit back on lap 9. 3.85 second pit stop time. I'm not sure if something happened. I'd have had some load issue, but he's looking to see if he can get back on the lead lap. He's a boatload of laps down, 6 to be exact. Ross is only down 2. I believe Kevin Foster only down a single lap. That does have us reaching up to Carter Phillips, who's currently sitting 19th. And our leaders are getting ready to exit turn number 4 with John Osborne here in the lead. Shooting across the line, not bad as the battles really start to heat up behind John Osborne. Good time for him to attack. Halfway through their fuel stint here. Connor Gibson starting to find a way, trying to see if he can find a way around here. Although a couple laps down, Douglas Ross still hanging in there. Cody Welch now getting ready to make a move to the inside. Peels off behind Nickerson now, starting to shoot up to the front. And Welch is trying to hold on to it, though. Man, oh man. So many vehicles trying to figure out a way around. Welch does clear Nickerson here, as Osborne is starting to get a decent amount of separation from the rest of the field. Oddly enough, to see that kind of split away is quite impressive. I think Welch will try to reel him in here, not let him get away. That way Osborne has to slow down just a little bit as we pass Barney again. The 25th time here tonight, all under green. I'd like to take this moment to go ahead and give these guys a round of applause for making it this far. No trouble. No trouble yet. So we did have a little bit of a fumble out there right on the start. With the green flag came out. I would like to take a moment and see if we can pop back and see what happens to Carter Phillips and why he shot to the inside. Oh, he just got going there and side dumped. Oh, Greenwell sent him the rest of the way around. All right. Well, at least it was something simple. Carter Phillips trying to stay out there. Let's get back up front. Holy cow. Cody Welch has caught John Osborne and now is starting to put him backwards. Welch knowing this might be a good time to attack and come away with a little bit of distance on the rest of the field. Great job so far. Our driver, John Osborne, just watched Cody Welch get in front of him here. Little slip out coming out of 2. Half of the lead still stays hot though. Osborne not giving up. Bottom side here for Osborne. All right, working around him here. John Osborne looking to get a good run. Not going to get it, though. Great pinch there. Welch noticing that high line is working very well. about that Benjamin Lacey line. Speaking of Benjamin Lacey, it does make me want to point back as backwards he's going, though, unfortunately. Douglas Ross rejoining back down into pit road. Bad. So Welch, Osborne, Connor Gibson, Jackson Knock, and Benjamin Lacey's at 1, 2, 3, 4. Rounding out our 5th place. Nickerson has dropped down to 6th. Haggy falling off a little bit here. Some of their fastest times out there have been around 33.79 or 34 flat. Times now are around 35.8 or 36. So we have got just about a 2-second fall off here. Cody Welch is now ahead by half a second. That's getting sawed to pieces there as John Osborne gets a huge run through 3 and 4. Cuts off about a quarter of a second on him, though. Not bad, though. Still keeping the roll on. Just over 100 laps left to go here. Just under 100 laps left to go. This one is still going green. Fantastic. Say some drivers would love to see something come out. Me, preferably not. Down into pit road, for looks like an unscheduled stop, was Mason Flagar. Mason Flagar came down on lap number 27, as Douglas Ross looks like he is taking it back to the garage. And he may be dealing with another fire call, unknown. We will see Douglas Ross return. See, is having a heck of a time with some attendance here. Unfortunately, if you're looking to find Douglas Ross, you'll be able to find him tomorrow. He'll be with me in the USORL League. Truck Series starting to really wind down during the playoffs. All right, checking back on Bill Harkins here. Let's check out how Bill is doing. Dawson Guzik. Oh, man. He's out there saying, wife's gonna spit out a kid. That ain't good. All right, let's rotate up. Marshall Crocker starting to put some pressure on Eddie Haggy there. Haggy's been slowly moving up. Haggy actually staying a lot lower in these turns, not getting up close to the wall. Doing that long sweep down. And yes, that is Nick Nickerson there. Jackson Knock hanging in, coming down pit road. Oh, Haggy! Christopher Ferreira coming on down, as well as Jason Greenwell. Interesting paint scheme he's got here. Cool. Definitely like the teeth on the side. Looks good. Uh-oh. Missed the box. All right, Cody Welch, John Osborne, Connor Gibson sitting 1, 2, and 3. Benjamin Lacey is our 4th place driver, moving that on to Marshall Crocker, who sits 5th. Looks like everybody coming down. I'm wondering if tires are starting to wear out and guys are not decide not to stay out as long due to the amount of fall off. So they knew if tire wear is going to be a big problem here tonight. should have plenty of tires. If they have 4 sets of tires, we're taking our first ones now. We're looking at about every 35 laps. These guys may be taking tires, if not every 30. If we see a caution here tonight, it may have guys coming in there trying to switch it up a little bit. Welch, Osborne, and Gibson sitting 1, 2, and 3. These guys are still hanging out here. Osborne, the only one to be still hitting under 35, or excuse me, under 36 seconds. Boy, look at some of these last lap times. All of a sudden, Welch is starting to pick up the pace now. Most of these guys falling way off. Still about 35 seconds, or under 36 seconds for all our guys in the top 5. Still a great race, though. See the number 28 machine slicing on around. Fresh tires. He's going to roll on through. Should have been Ricky Hart out there in the 28. Alrighty. Definitely tough out there. Dawson Guzik not able to show up here tonight either. One of the higher admins out there that was out there rooting, hoping we would get into the 87s this season. Hasn't made a race yet. Killing me. Alrighty, guys. Light that chat up. I'm definitely out there watching. Cody Welch, our leader, working his way on down. So John Osborne is going to resume the lead here. I would wonder if John Osborne would consider still pushing another 2 to 3 laps here before he comes down. Try to use up as much of that fuel tank as absolutely possible. He's still got a good roll here. John Osborne, Connor Gibson, 1 and 2. And off by a second. And then we finally find Benjamin Lacey way back here. And I think some of these guys who were up front have fallen back. And the fallback, I think, has caught them by surprise by seeing how far they have fallen off and how much they're going to have to really consider coming in or take care of those tires at the beginning of the race. Jay out there, big fan of John Osborne's rims out there. Yep, they're looking pretty slick there. Bill Harkins has moved up to now 7th position, right behind Ethan Sikorsky. Sikorsky out there in the 94. See his Chevrolet doing a great job there, high side. Andy Haggie's working underneath him. Haggie right now currently sitting 15th. So we'll have a bunch of drivers getting around, getting lapped. Nick Nickerson. Hopefully that not cost Nickerson some problems here as he enters pit lane. It looked like he may have hit that commitment cone. Let's take a peek. Man, he did okay. Not bad. If he didn't speed, he did a great job. Nickerson currently sitting in the parking spot out there in pit road. 21 seconds. 23's out. All right, not bad. Still get going here. You see right now some people's favorite driver, Cody Welch, out there. Shooting on around and still ticking him off. How bad was getting around Benjamin Lacey. Welch looking to get his lap back the hard way. Osborne still remains out here, though. which is really stretching it out there. 46 laps. And we'll see if he's making the right call or if this is a mistake. Him coming in so much later than the rest of the field here. He just hit his 36-second lap last time around with a 36.01. And Benjamin Lacey said he's had enough time falling off, so he's heading down in the pit. We'll see. Dawson out there thinking they might double stint the tires. Fall off has got to be pretty intense out there on the track. Fuel lasting to about 50 laps out there, so them coming down now is them trying to offset here and try to lose a little bit. This is Osborne, and right now Cody Welch reeling up behind him now. So far, most of these guys still do have to pit. So Welch and Knock would end up putting themselves into first and second. Osborne might be coming down pit this time. So watch his speed. Yep, he's coming on down. Yeah. I would say at least slow it down. You know, it's time to get the tires. So as long as he's been out there, this will really work well. Welch got tires back on lap 40. About 8 laps fresher are going to be Osborne's. So that's looking really good right about now. Osborne still sitting in the pit. Waiting to see him get on out of there. Right side's up, now finally back down. As Bill Harkins still out there in the lead. Bad by Bill Harkins in the black and green car. Do want to make sure we do take some time here tonight. Talk about the people out there who've suffered through the hurricane last time. Might want to help some of those unfortunate people out there who've unfortunately been caught up in it. Try to see if you can help them out. I know some people take running water for granted. And it definitely, I would say it's a commodity and a luxury we have that not many do. When you don't have it, it's not looking good. All right, last driver coming on down into pit road, Bob Barry. Carter Phillips is yet to come in either. Kind of an interesting call here by Carter Phillips, and I think we might have him out there on camera tonight. Yes, we do. All right, that's going to do it. Carter Phillips is our last driver who has yet to pit. He is pitting one lap after Bob Barry here. Remember after that early spin out, that went very ugly. So the 30 machine working his way down in the pit now. Might overshot there. Nope, he got it. All right. Get up to our lead guys here in the front. Cody Welch and Jackson Knox hitting 1 and 2. And holy cow, we got to look back 7 seconds to find Eddie Hagee. So all three Chevrolets here in the top three as we reach lap number 53 here of this race. Not bad. Still a great race here so far. As these guys are still really putting on the moves out there. Trying to make the best of it as we have gone caution-free this entire race so far. All right, everybody, we're going to get a shout-out from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Hello there, Bandit Racing League fans. Former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. You put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're going to move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're going to move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rink. You add it to your cart and you're going to move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and there you go, Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that Full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly, Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
Coming back to you live here, halfway through lap number 57 out here tonight. Cody Welch still out in front and by a large margin here, over 3.5 seconds over Jackson Knock, who's trying his best to come up with an answer to Cody Welch out here tonight. And Connor Gibson, boy, is he in a boatload of trouble here. Benjamin Lacey all over him, trying to see if he can make the pass, but cannot. Lacey having to dial back and see if he can find another route around him. And Eddie Hagge hanging out back behind John Osborne. Osborne still has the fresher tires out of anybody else out here on the track who's in the top 10. Osborne out there in the Ford Thunderbird, trying to see if he can get around him here. Right now Osborne still working that low line and is yet to come away with the pass here on Benjamin Lacey. This seems a lot more like what we saw earlier here in the race as Osborne hangs down there on the bottom. Still keeping a good roll though. Jennifer Wonders out there rooting on the 85, our leader. And Welch looks like he is coming back to command and conquer here in this league. Back at some of the history out there. Big time guy out there is Cody Welch. Does a very fantastic job and has won a bunch of races here. Hopefully we'll see if he can return back and do it again. Right now, so far tonight, he has got plenty of distance here. Before we find, there's Jackson Knock. And Connor Gibson. A lot of separation, about 4 seconds between each driver here in the top 3. And Osborne, Lacey, and Nickerson going for it. Nickerson still off pace. I don't know if something got a hold of him here tonight. He originally started in 4th. Big red propane machine. He's having some trouble. do want to take a poke back at another driver out there who worked very well together out there at Daytona is Kevin Foster. Foster currently sitting in that 18th spot. Down 5 here on the night and a lap down. Fortunately, I do not think, I've taken a look at our stats here, that Foster will not have the lucky dog around. Hayden Paul will. Hayden Paul currently in the 54 Ford. Came down pit road on lap 47. So unfortunately, that does show him sitting right behind Jackson Knott, who's the driver in front of him currently. So not bad here. Guys, don't forget, like I said, you can sponsor this league. And you can even sponsor a race. You can sponsor a flag. You can sponsor a caution. And come out here and root these guys on. I think even sponsoring the car is a good idea. Still rolling around out there on the track. Fantastic race here so far. 63 laps complete here at Atlanta without a single yellow flag. Couple little fumbles out there. A couple guys hitting the wall. Couple guys just barely getting into pit road, but no, I don't see any penalties here so far. So this has been great so far. Ricky Hart's the only one to spend an extended amount of time down in pit road, over a minute and a half, and you can still see he still suffers from the damage on the left front. Having a lot of trouble out there. Ricky Hart's still knocking down some laps. Christopher Ferreira hanging out in 11th. He's up 5 here on tonight. And no, we're not at the super speedway here of Atlanta. To me, this is one of my more favorite tracks, is being nice, wide open, and being able to get a bunch of speed. Then they changed it to a super speedway, increased that banking by another 4 degrees, and then have these guys really whipping around here. I think for nostalgia purposes, this is fantastic for the 87s to be back on the old Atlanta track. Bring some of those bumps back that these drivers hate so very, very much. You guys can notice, you almost hear those tires scrubbing as they go around the turns out there. So as we see that, let's try and Cody Welch, see the difference. Cody Welch riding on the ragged edge here. Kind of see the difference. Unfortunately, this is why Christopher Ferreira is about 22 seconds off pace as Welch continues to keep going. That turn exit 3 and 4 keeps getting Welch there. Really having some trouble keeping that one. Let's see if we can find a battle out there on the track. I think Marshall Crocker and Eddie Hagge were going at it there for a moment. Hagge still hanging on top side as he gets behind, looks like Kevin Foster there. Foster looks like he's got some damage on the back of that car. So he might have a decent little dent to the rear spoiler here. Paul Wilson coming into pit currently. Get over to Kevin Foster. Yep, he's folded up a good bit there. Back end of this car's got a good mush. Everybody pretty spread out here on the track. We'll take a look at our track out here. And any driver you're trying to find. He's got a few clutches of cars out there. scrambling around trying to see if we can find somebody getting going here. Moving back to Jason Greenwell. I believe that's Ethan Sikorsky in the 94 Chevrolet right behind him here. This should be a battle for 11th. Greenwell has it currently. Greenwell dives in a little too deep. Sikorsky's Monte Carlo is going to go on around. Christopher Ferreira coming on down. Haggy coming down. Jason Greenwell coming into pit as well. Checking back in on Marshall Crocker out there in the 78 Chevrolet. Seeming to be doing pretty well. Jackson Knock coming on down. So Crocker actually stayed out till about lap 47 before he took tires. As a couple laps before John Osborne came in. These guys trying to stretch out that fuel tank as far as absolutely possible out there. We're seeing if Marshall Crocker out there in the 78 can keep putting around, making it happen. Trying to come up with an answer to Welch Osborne and Connor Gibson out there who've been just blazing fast. Oddly enough, this actually might put a driver of Bob Berry who's moved up to 10th when he came in on lap number 50. I believe possibly in danger of going a lap down here. Here very soon he's going to be finding the pink car of Cody Welch reeling him in. Berry is currently about 32 seconds off pace off a 36-second lap. Cody Welch has been putting down. There's Welch up toward the wall. Third driver back on the track. So right now, they're going to be looking to take Cody Welch and try to fix that paint scheme because nothing super slow about him here tonight. Out in front by almost 9. Dawson Guzik out there saying he's got a date out there with a deer. Hopefully you're out there taking pictures, right? Right now we see the 82 going ahead and working back around, trying to get remove one of those laps off. As Paul Wilson is currently sitting in that 16th spot. I'm impressed that some of these guys, even laps down, still remain out here on the track. Bradley Shin out there. Still hanging out in race control. Watching everything go down. All right, he says the deer has a date with his freezer. Oh, good, and you're feeding him ice cream. I didn't know he eats. Ha ha. Sweet. All right. Trying to see if we got anything putting around out there. I knew back even in the 87s when these drivers used to get spread apart. This is how you get the race strategy out there between pit strategy, the way these guys drive out there, and how the race unfolds. This is kind of how you see how the 87 and the early 90 cars used to race. They get spread out, almost single file out there, and then it'd be a matter of trying to run them down. In recent years, when we started getting to the Xfinities, more of the Gen 4 cars, and then we get to the next gens, we started pack racing. So the guys were really kind of mushed together rather than being all spread apart. They thought it would be a good idea to make racing a lot more exciting. If there was some chance of some serious injury out there. Or, another round out there. All right, still rolling on through. We're well past our halfway point now. Still under green. Love seeing it here so far, as this has been a fantastic race, really coming together. We'll see how a couple of other things We're going. All right, let's see if we can do something a little bit to switch this up. Let me see if I can grab somebody out of the blue and kind of scare them here a little bit. Bradley Shin, you got a copy there, buddy?
What's up?
Hey, buddy, how's race control going on up there? Is this an easy night for you?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
All right. All right, well, we thought we might see a bunch of problems out here on the track, yet we don't. You know, this is pretty, you know, what were you noticing any trouble out there on the track even during practice that may have been causing a tough night for you?
I really didn't, to be honest. We've had a few little incidents here and there throughout the race, but it's not been anything big to cause a caution or anything.
Okay, yeah, we see a couple things where, Kevin Foster's got some damage to the back end of his vehicle. Ricky Hart's got some damage to the left front. I mean, is it just like these guys having some self-spins that we're not seeing out there?
So as far as Ricky's, he was trying to fit into a gap and didn't quite make it. That's pretty much what happened to him. And Kevin's, he just got bumped in the back.
Bummer, dude. All right, so do you think we might go green all the way?
I'm hoping for it for these guys. These guys have done it before, and they can do it again, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't see why not, especially in these 87s at old Atlanta. This should be a great race here so far, as everybody seems to kind of be minding their P's and Q's here tonight here at Atlanta. You know, you and Nicole Crazel up there, you know, in race control, sometimes you guys have an extremely busy night, and it gets extremely, hairy. I would say you guys have to make a call within a lap or two laps if something's going to go on out there. I mean, how do you guys make any kind of a determination out there, especially since there are two of you?
Usually we both take a look at it real quick, and we'll kind of talk it back and forth and see what each other think about it. And most of the time we come to a pretty quick conclusion of what we both agree upon.
All right. Well, some people don't get to hear from race control very often without it being, you know, a huge problem out there on the track or something like that. But what is one of the craziest things you've ever seen?
Honestly, I mean, there's been times where you see one car go from the outside wall to the inside wall and take 3 cars with them because they're trying to run 4 wide or something. Sometimes it really does some crazy stuff, and sometimes iRacing just causes everything to go amiss. We had one race, I think it was last season if I remember correctly, and the whole field flip-flopped, and there was a whole mess at the end of the race.
Yeah, well, and the amount of netcode that's been happening lately. As we got a pass heel for the lead, John Osborne down on the bottom, and Cody Welch down to second. So Osborne, very good call, taking those tires 8 laps later. Welch starting to feel the pain now. Connor Gibson starting to come in as he is racing on lap 47 tires. So not bad here. So 1, 2, and 3 finally meet each other. Marshall Crocker will have to wait about another 5 seconds before we find him. Oh, Welch gives John Osborne a nudge here. And I don't think Welch meant to do that, but he's going to have to backpedal now down to third. All right, Bradley, what a run here it is tonight. You see much of this same kind of racing happening in Michigan next week?
I hope so. I hope this is next week too, and I hope I know these guys really enjoy running green most of the race because it adds that competitiveness of green flag pit stops and that kind of stuff. It's a lot more planning, I think, for the whole race itself.
All right, Bradley. Hey, man, you want to give any shout-outs, maybe to a wife?
Honestly, she's not watching, but if she is, I'm glad she lets me do this. Ashley, I appreciate it. Nicole's watching out there in the actual, on the live. Nice to see you out there. See you in a couple weeks.
Nicole Crazel, appreciate you. And Bradley, good luck to you, buddy. It sure looks like an easy one for you here tonight.
I hope so, but if it's not, I'll be here.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yep, appreciate you hopping in.
Oh, yeah. All right. Bradley Shin hanging out kind of solo there in race control. Kind of just hanging out for a little while as he's sitting back watching this race kind of play out. Lap number 88 is underway. John Osborne sits currently in the number 1 spot. Connor Gibson has been running him down for quite some time. These two had almost been following each other, but Connor Gibson is not doing too bad here. Right now, down pit road, Cody Welch did come on lap 86. I think he noticed those tires definitely started wearing down on him. I'm sure John is probably going to try to push it another 10 more laps before we see him come down into pit road. Connor Gibson looking to make a move here down on the bottom. Still a quarter second behind. Not going to be able to get it, though. Still looking for a quick breath of fresh air down on the bottom for that engine. See if he can reel him in one more time here. Nick Nickerson still holding on tight to 4th. But I'm still waiting for a couple of these other guys to kind of open it up here. I think Haggy had some trouble here earlier in the run. Haggy actually sitting currently in 12th. And he's in danger of actually going a lap down. Hopefully we can see him continue his roll up front. Nickerson working his way down pit. Checking in on Bill Harkins, who's currently sitting 7th. Jackson Knock is a top 3, top 4 driver. Terrible qualifying time as he started way outside the top 10. 15th to be exact in his Chevrolet. He's currently going to rotate up to 7th as Nick Nickerson is making, looks like a 4-tire pit stop down there. And we'll see if he can emerge out of pit road in a timely manner. He would like to get back in the chase up there for around that 3rd place. Eddie Haggy currently, boy, I'm not mistaken, I think Haggy's down a lap now. Cody Welch down a lap as he is having some trouble staying connected. There he is. Nope, almost. All right, let's check in on Bob Berry. Berry now up to 8th as he passes Sean Britt and should be passing him Benjamin Lacey here as these two guys are sitting down in the pits. Marshall Crocker is as well. He's working his way on down. All right, now Marshall doing a great job here tonight, as he is yet to be in any trouble and remaining very consistent out there. And we'll see if that continues on here for the rest of the night. I would say John Osborne is going to try to run this out as long as he can. So this next one will be his last stop. And as I say that, I'm going to have to eat my own words. He is coming down here on lap number 92. And you saw the pink machine sling on by. As right now, he is at a blistering speed out there. And really rolling around this track. Look at how fast Cody moves. Yeah, so far, this is huge. That's actually, I believe, Bob Berry heading into 3. Right in front of him. Just look at the difference. Welch right now currently running 34.72 seconds. And 2 seconds slower is going to be Bob Berry. Berry not coming into pit quite yet. Looking to see if he can upset the field here. Bob Berry also started outside the top 10. Here comes Cody Welch. Berry rotates up. Berry now bobs to the bottom as Cody Welch rotates on through and passes him here. Tide machine of Bob Berry now falls down to 5th. He still is going to have to pit though. But can Welch stay out front as long as he needs to? Oddly enough, it took John Osborne a little bit of time to reel in Cody Welch and pass him. Connor Gibson as well. Connor Gibson was the one chasing behind him. Gibson came in on lap number 92. Osborne came in on the same lap, but somehow Gibson is way out front there of John Osborne. Osborne really going to have to play chase, though. About 4 seconds where John Osborne's going to have to make up. Benjamin Lacey, we haven't talked about him in a little while, now sitting 12th. Jason Greenwell, definitely a big fan of the yellow and blue out there. Ford we see him drive, that's about the same paint scheme. Ethan Sikorsky into the pit box. And it just goes to show you how far we have come, especially on the pit road. We're seeing most times sitting about 22 to 24 seconds. Now we got guys hitting about 14, high 13s, maybe even in the 15s, depending on your pit crew. Back out they go. Right now, Jackson Knock in the lead. Knock came in on lap 71. Don't know if Knock is going to be able to fend off Cody Welch here, though, if Jackson Knock came in on lap 71 to try to stretch it. Fuel-wise, he might be okay. But 5.5 seconds in front of our all-time leader here tonight of Cody Welch, who's sitting currently 3rd. Connor Gibson is 4th, Nickerson 5th. And I think Eddie Hagee just passed Bob Berry. Berry's working his way on down pit road. Lap 50 is the last time Bob Berry pit. He's coming in here. Lap 98, and I believe he crosses the line. Yep, for lap 98. There it is. Bob Berry enters the pit box. Eddie Hagee into the wall. Boy, he's going to hate that we just tuned and saw him do that. Jay out there saying Cody Welch's car might have a little Pepto-Bismol there on the inside. Definitely pink, no doubt about it. All right, that still holds us to one more driver we're still waiting to see come down pit road. Bill Harkins being that driver. Harkins originally last pit on lap 49, 1 lap earlier than Barry did last time. So Harkins trying to stay out. Nope, that's going to be it. So Harkins throws in the towel. Exactly 50 laps from the last time he pit down pit road. He's coming. And Cody Welch right now cutting down that lead to 4.5 seconds. And the 5.5 it was before. If Osborne wishes to win himself a race here instead of getting into the playoff on points, there is no winning in this year, but John Osborne could definitely use the win here tonight. Definitely help boost him in the points chase all the way to the end. There's only 130 laps that we're running here. 101 have been under green. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Especially a race that you expect to see some cautions. I'm not saying a bunch, but some. We are still under green here. Fantastic job here by the Bandit Racing League. There is still time to join. We're only 2 races into this season. So you can still join up. Put some laps down. I think even if you come out here and run about 30, 40 laps, you'll be doing more laps than Douglas Ross has done out here. That's just a poke at my commentator I have on other nights. No hard feelings there, Douglas. Mama Goose out there in the chat. Nicole Crazel in here. Dawson Guzik said he is checking out to go Feed a deer some acorn ice cream. All right. Jennifer Wonders out here as well. Appreciate you joining us here on the stream that we bringing you guys live here in the Bandit Racing League. You guys have been doing a great job here so far. Next week, we are going to be looking at Michigan. I'm sure they're going to be making sure they have yet another legacy track that these guys can race at. And after that, we should be moving to the Xfinities. The following 3 races after that, and I would say that's just about everybody's favorite. Everybody enjoys that car. Definitely since it's, H pattern shifter instead of sequential. And all that happy stuff. So far, only 9 drivers remain here on the lead lap. I believe Sikorsky and Wilson were able to get around. May be wrong. We'll double check here. Sikorsky and Wilson may still be a lap down. Nope. Yep. Sikorsky's still a lap down. That is Cody Welch there in front of him now. Welch on a roll, man. I wonder what can slow this guy down. Wonder if he's lining himself up for a win here tonight. Simtrax Broadcasting definitely busy here. On Tuesday nights, we are currently in round 2 of the playoffs over at the National Oval Racing Association. Wednesday nights, we're here with the Bandit Racing League and their 3-car medley that they run. And Thursday and Saturday, we run with the USRL team. Thursdays will be trucks, and then the Cup Series on Saturdays that they run with the Xfinity cars. Right now, the trucks is about to wrap up here in the next couple of races, and we'll be crowning a champion over there. Let's see how that goes. There's still been somebody floating a line out there looking to see if we're available for Sundays. If you guys are looking for a broadcast out there, we'll give you fair warning that Miss Stella may be out there on vacation. But we'll definitely sign up and make sure we can get you on the books out there. Go to simtraxbroadcasting.com. Shows you guys the members of our team. If you're looking to join our team out there, we'll give you a shot. And any past races that we do or have done, you'll see specific sections of where we put these guys and the past races that we have broadcast. If you want to see some mind-blowing stuff, go back and look at the very first one that we put out and how far Simtrax Broadcasting has come since then. See how all this pans out. All right, John Osborne, who was the leader, who once loved to win this race, sitting about 7 seconds off pace here as Cody Welch is getting caught up in some lap traffic. Right now, this is huge for the drivers sitting behind him, as this is giving them a chance to catch up. Cody Welch cannot get past, as Jason Greenwell down to the bottom, currently sitting in 15th. Christopher Ferreira sitting in 14th in front of him. We only have 21 laps left to go here at Atlanta. Highly recommend that you get your friends here. This might be a nail biter here toward the end. John Osborne is picking up just about a quarter of a second each lap and reeling them in. Of all the drivers out here, I would say Osborne may have the opportunity to come away with this one. He's done it a couple of times, has been able to run him down. But does Welch, has he been holding anything left in the tank here to see if he can stay out front and slow Osborne's roll down? Right now, Osborne has been enjoying his race here tonight. Almost uncontested once he can get up to the front. Welch has been leading the most amount of laps here during this race, but it does not have the long run car. Osborne with another quarter of a second shaved off. Now down to 6.5. First things first, Osborne is going to have to look for Marshall Crocker. Crocker is currently sitting right in front of him, though, in the 78. And John Osborne will be looking to be breaking up those 3 Chevrolets out there. And hopefully he is able to do it. Definitely like seeing a good race, especially when it gets close, especially right here at the end. We've had a few nail biters here the past couple of weeks. Some of them finishes at the line, just beating him by either a bumper or if there was a license plate on the front. That's how close some of these are getting. 18 laps left to go. Osborne's roll has almost got a double by this point if he wants to catch him. A couple of extra guys out here getting ready to start reeling them in. Ricky Hart is taking it back to the garage. Made it about 100 laps and drew the line. Yep, Connor Gibson may have a chance as well. 2.5 seconds behind as Cody Welch is starting to feel the effects of the fall back here. 36 seconds was his last lap. Just about everybody in the top 5 ran faster than him. Welch could be laying off just a little bit to save tire here toward the end. Does he have the long run speed? Osborne for a moment there, under 6 seconds. Trying to chase him down. Crocker currently sitting 4.5 seconds off pace here. Connor Gibson 2.5 seconds. This one's starting to boil down to the very end here. Ethan Sikorsky sitting 8th. That's Cody Welch getting ready to reel him in and try to put him a lap down. Jackson Knox seems to have a decent amount of distance from our leader. Unfortunately, he's still 26 seconds behind. Not very many 87 leagues out there running. Bandit Racing League looking to become one of them. And has been doing a great job here so far. These past couple of races have not just been a disappointment. Everybody was really hoping they weren't going to be running just Talladega in these cars, where they are probably one of the most insane vehicles out there to handle. It has been a great race here. Jay out there even agreeing, saying nothing like the old school. Yep, I can guarantee you that. I love seeing how this kind of pans out here. It works very well. All right, so next week we are going to be heading to Michigan. And we hop in the Xfinities for Gateway, Kansas, and then Pocono. And then next gens, we should be at the Charlotte, then the Charlotte Roval, and then Indy. So that should be pretty interesting, seeing how that is going to go. Now, of course, the schedule is subject to change. We'll see how that goes. A couple of these guys are going to be looking to poke around just a little bit, and I would say some of these, even the 87 races that they race here in this league, are not just are not super speedway tracks. The only time they got that was during Daytona, and the rest of it is going to be some pretty technical driving. I guarantee you, Dawson Guzik will never have another say again if he does not show up. I believe that is December 10th. He has been praying for a 87 race out there on a road course. So we will keep you guys apprised and see how all that pans out here at the end. Welch still in the lead, though. 12 laps left to go. 11 when he gets to the line. Osborne has run out of steam. 5.7 seconds and unable to kind of get past that. So he is starting to slow down. 11 laps left to go. And Osborne running almost identical times that our leader is. I don't think he's going to be able to get him here. Osborne has done a great job and just narrowly missed it. I think Marshall Crocker is doing his best to make sure he stays in third. I think he would love to come up here in the booth and have a chat with us. Let's see how all that goes. 10 laps left to go. I want to give a shout out there to our sponsors of LAT Racing Oils, Apex Racing, and FMR Performance, Geezer Authentics, just to name a few. Still continue on here. Right now, you're still getting it added here. Connor Gibson looks like he is starting to work his way around Bill Harkins. Harkins is on the bottom. Still going at it. The more these two battle, this is giving a chance for Marshall Crocker to make up some ground here. He would love to get up just a little bit farther. Yep, John Osborne may have run out of steam. 5.79 seconds. I'm unable to get past that part. Looks like Nick Van Heerden is out there rooting on Marshall Crocker. Jennifer Wonders looking to see if Cody Welch can come away with another win here. Cody's been doing an awesome job here tonight. He's definitely got the winning strategy. That's been something I have been trying to keep in mind and try to poke around a little bit and see how well they can get it done. Barry's going to see if he can get Hayden Paul here. This would be the battle for 11th. The 11th spot. Still looking for a move here out there on the track. Everything has gotten pretty quiet. Got a little bit of action here. We'll pop in and take a look at Lacey as well. I think Lacey finally turning up the heat. Benjamin Lacey looking to take Nickerson out of a top 5 finish. And Lacey, what a move. Outside line. And got him. Nickerson still trying to reel him in though. Still, whoa, able to fend him off. Nickerson almost looked like he was making a beeline for him. 5 to go. Checking back in on Bob Berry as he makes the pass there on Hayden Paul. Hayden Paul able to get away there. Right now this is fantastic though, as we are about to go caution free here this race. Nick Nickerson almost caused our first one there just a moment ago. Osborne turning it up here just a little too late, under 5 seconds. Let's give Marshall Crocker a chance as Crocker has passed Connor Gibson. Looks like we're going to be talking to Marshall Crocker for a second place position. So oddly enough, 3 laps left to go here at the line. Harkin's currently sitting in 9th, a lap down though, as he is watching Marshall Crocker work around him there. And away he goes. Crocker still trying to put a little bit of a show on here, get going, seeing if he can run down our leader. 1.4 seconds, he would be our closest driver to get it done. Choices here. Cody Welch has 2 laps left to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Don't forget, you can still reach out there and sponsor this league. Get your shout outs in here as well. Any mentions that you'd like to have. Even a commercial that you would like to run. Definitely make sure to get it in here. And I would say promote your business. Kind of like Kevin Foster and the Big Red Propane Machine. Cody Welch getting out front here. And as he brings the white flag out, Marshall Crocker bringing it to within 3/4 of a second. Osborne within 4. Marshall Crocker, I don't think is going to be able to reel him in, though. Only 2 turns left to go. I think he might need a flux capacitor to run him down. And that may do it here. All right, checkered flag is out. Barney letting it wave. Congratulations there, Cody Welch, for another win here. Marshall Crocker comes second. And Connor Gibson finishes 3rd. John Osborne is our 4th place driver. And Benjamin Lacey's 5th. Jay out there saying 2-0. Cody Welch with yet another win. Fantastic job here. As he gets the congratulatory bump from most of the drivers out there. For him coming out here and yet owning another track. See how all these guys do. Man, oh man, just when you thought that John Osborne may have been the one to do it here tonight, Cody Welch with the upset. Started second, wasn't the fastest here tonight, but definitely made it show right here when the time mattered. Excellent job. Excellent job, though. All right. Is everybody doing their burnouts here? Marshall Crocker looks like he's going to stay pretty still out there. Connor Gibson coming in 3rd. Let's go ahead and take a look at where all of our finishers ended up. See if you can find your driver. Eddie Haggy. Holy cow. Something happened to him out there. Made it to lap 120. Out there for him. I knew he was a bunch of laps down. Just think out there looking. I think Marshall Crocker finally. There's Marshall. Now he's spinning it around. Alrighty, guys. We're going to cut away and try to bring our guys back. And then we'll go ahead and have a chat with them here in just a moment. Hold on.
Racing Oils is invested in winning with industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it. LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
Hello there, Bandit Racing League fans. Former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. You put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're going to move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're going to move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rig. You add it to your cart and you're going to move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and there you go, Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that Full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly, Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
All right, everybody, we are catching up with our third place driver, Connor Gibson, out there, our man in the 31 Chevrolet, up in the top 10 most of the night here. Talk to me about this solid green flag race.
Honestly, congrats to everybody on such a great race. I mean, like, caution free in these cars is hard enough, especially at a track like this. I was expecting a caution fest, and it was a great race.
Man, as drivers get rolling around out there, what was the toughest part you noticed about here at Atlanta?
It was saving tires, and I am notorious for blowing tires left and right, and somehow tonight, well, big thank you to John Osborne. He kind of showed me how to do it and taught me ways to save tires tonight, and I somehow qualified P5, and it just was good from there.
Man, and difficult it was. Do you prefer this Atlanta or the super speedway style?
I used to prefer New Atlanta. After tonight, I think I like this one a lot more.
Yeah, this one you can get a lot more speed. I would say it's a lot wider. Not a whole lot of pack racing out here tonight. But, kind of what was the winning strategy? Was it just tire conservation tonight, or was it just, pitting at the right time?
Well, me and John, I know at least, we stayed out as long as we could, basically ran the tank dry, and then I was sure that I had the win in the bag there, and John slipped through his box, so I was sure that I had the win in the bag, but I think Marshall and Cody had definitely had some left in the tank there at the end.
Definitely pretty close. All right, man, we move to Michigan next week. Confidence level heading there. It's another big wide track.
Well, if you would have asked me a few hours ago, I would have said not confident, but I think after tonight I feel pretty good about my chances.
All right, man. Shout out time.
Oh, big shout out to John and David and Hayden, teammates, and you guys for putting on a good broadcast every week, and Bill for keeping the league running, and all the drivers that showed up, and shout out to my friends, family, coworkers, everyone that I'm going to show the broadcast to. And I'm going to make sure that they like and subscribe to. Awesome. And just some prayers for everything that's happening with all the floods after that hurricane for anyone. I know there's a lot of people that are in a rough spot right now, so
yeah,
thoughts with them.
Yeah, definitely in the Tennessee area and in the North Carolina area. They're definitely dealing with a bunch of stuff, especially even down in Florida, man. They got hammered pretty hard right after that, and I think we got two more on the way. So, Connor Gibson, congratulations on your third-place finish, man.
One last thing.
Yep.
I don't know the exact, if it's true, but it's probably the first double Canadian podium.
Shh. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. All right, yeah, I noticed that. I was going to ask Marshall how's it feel. Oh man, you got me. Congratulations, Connor, and we'll see you in Michigan, buddy.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, that's going to do it there for Connor Gibson. That moves us on to Marshall Crocker, who ended up in second place, finally getting that pass later on here in the run. Great job. Marshall, talk to me about this race, dude. Was it a wild one?
It was absolutely insane. I'll start off right off the bat. First race in these cars in my entire life. I was out there to adapt. I was out there to learn. Least favorite track, so the bar was set about as low as you can imagine. Everybody I told to watch tonight, I was saying, temper your expectations a little bit. Man, though, what a run. I mean, most fun last stint of a race I've had in a very long time. Connor Gibson, fellow Canadian like myself, it was good to see him doing well today. Today was kind of a breakout for him on pace, and he and I just seemed to be clicking off equal lap times there that entire last stint. There felt like there was a point you got the tires, the rear tires, he seemed to overcook a little bit. He was getting a little bit too loose. That's when I was able to kind of make the jump there. I knew from that moment I was more worried about first than second. And when you're in a voice channel as a teammate of the guy in first, it can get a little bit tense. Relations are a little bit weird trying to track him down. But Cody's an exceptional driver, 2 in a row for him. And yeah, not quite surprised we couldn't get there, but do wish I had 2 more laps.
Well, I was going to say it should get eerily quiet. Everybody starts, hey, man, what are you doing? Or you try to talk to him and mess him up. Which style did you go for tonight?
Well, it was funny. I do have enough respect that I know for me I can get quite rattled. Just people trying to talk to me, even if you're not going to answer. Just people getting in your head. I know it was funny. Connor had a couple guys in the chat there as well that were trying to psych him out a little bit. And it does make a difference, and I respect the other guys enough to not go down that road. But I will say, he and I, fellow teammate Kevin Foster, who was a lap car between us in those last couple laps, there was some politicking trying to get him in the mix, partially jokingly. But if he'd thrown a quick block on Cody, I wouldn't have complained.
Yeah. There was a little bit of getting caught up in some lap traffic earlier, about 15 laps left to go. But man, oh man, talk about going caution free. I mean, what a great race though.
It was incredible. I mean, we all had that moment, like we pulled into the pits, everybody was giving each other props. It's just to see a track like this and these cars that are so hard to turn, Atlanta's so hard on tires, everybody was wicked loose, but the car control and seeing a lot of the guys that in the past may have been more problematic, some of the younger guys that didn't have as much experience with tire saving, to see everybody really adapt over the last couple seasons and to the point we can do this race and there was really no question of a yellow. It speaks to the quality of the drivers, and I hope the racing at home was fun. I'm sure there was enough going on there that it was, but no, the drivers love this kind of thing, and if we could do this race 10 more times the way we drove tonight, I think we'd have 10 more caution-free races. Really impressed.
All right, how's this transfer over into Michigan?
Well, the funny thing is I'm just coming back running a part-time schedule. I don't think I've run since my other second place I picked up, I think it was last year at Milwaukee, I believe. So I'm just running a part-time schedule, though I will be making it out to Michigan next week. I'm going to make sure I put the time aside. It's always been a family favorite. I think it was my dad's signature track growing up. He used to go see IndyCar races out there. It's always what I've taken to in the Indy cars and just knowing the seams, knowing the grooves. There is really a golden line. I've always found it at Michigan with tire saving, and obviously with these cars, that's the name of the game. So Michigan's got a special place in my heart. I'll make sure I make it out for next week, and at a certain point, I'm having a lot of bridesmaid appearances here. Maybe Michigan, a track I have a little bit more personal connection to, is where I finally get over the hump. Let's hope.
All right, and hopefully break the streak here of Cody Welch, who's really been on a roll here. And we're glad to see him back. My first time personally getting to see what he can do, and he's been doing a fantastic job. Marshall, go ahead and tell me who you got to thank here tonight and the sponsors on the car.
Yes, sir. First of all, same as last season, repping for 785 Racing. We got Real Earth Films and Filming the Wild. They do great YouTube stuff. They're doing all sorts of nature documentaries. Really fun stuff. Running a Wild West themed car today. Not related to a particular documentary, just any excuse to use Filming the Wild West. I'm going to put some cowboys and some cacti on the car. But in terms of personal shout-outs, shout out to my dad. I always thank him for any sim racing thing. Reason I'm here, reason I got into any of this. Shout out to the people watching tonight. Got some new faces, I think, in the YouTube chat. So Christine, Michael, Nick, Alyssa, everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm sure the product was great. Hope they enjoyed. And yeah, this was not one I was expecting they'd have much to watch, and almost got her done there with 2 to go. So feels pretty good.
All right, Marshall, congratulations on your second place finish, man. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Patrick.
Yep. All right, that's going to do it as Marshall Crocker comes in the second spot. He almost sounds like he's annoyed, and I love when that finally happens. As guys start getting rather agitated that they weren't able to come away with a win, and yet we go back to back here with Cody Welch here in the number 1 spot. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Here we are. Cody Welch, talk to me about this race, man.
Oh, first off, I get used to this winning thing. I did not expect to come back after a year of not sim racing at all, and come back to my league and win the first 2 races. It's a pretty good feeling.
All right, well, the crosshairs are on you heading into Michigan next week. But let's stay with this race. Caution free. It seemed you didn't have this one, as John Osborne almost seemed to be saving tires. What did you change in the third stint?
Well, I kind of short pitted on like lap 40 before everyone. And I figured everyone would come in like 43, 45, and they stayed out to like 46, 47. So I was nervous. So the second stint, I kind of drove the wheels off of it, drove the tires off of it a little bit. And by the end of the stint, I was sliding all over the place, could barely keep it off the wall. And I knew I had to go a little bit past lap 80 because those guys, had fresher tires. So that third stint, I did my best to not slide the right rear around and keep the tires under me. And it kind of paid off at the end. I seen those guys catching me, and I thought they had me caught at the end. But I was just able to kind of drive smooth and, set it up in the corner to where I was kind of rearing both the right front and the right rear evenly. And the car was like really balanced for them last 20, 25 laps. And I was able to just save my tires a little bit and have enough for the end to keep those guys behind me.
Man, excellent job. We did take a ride along with you, and it looked like you were wrangling that car in the second run, where it almost looked like turn 4 was going to be your demise here tonight. But you were able to fend off Marshall Crocker and Connor Gibson and John Osborne. You had a little battling out there with Benjamin Lacey and Nick Nickerson as well. But man, if there's a driver you could kind of put your finger on, and I'm not saying not like a bad thing, but if there was anybody beat you tonight, who would you say would have done it?
I think it would have been John. He caught me on the end of that second run there, and I knew he was fast. I knew he could save his tires really well, but I had a really good second pit stop. The entry was about as perfect as I could have got it. Getting into my stall good and a good stop. That kept me out front, and I think he had some troubles getting in the pit road or something. I don't know. I have to go back and watch, but that's kind of what did it. I really thought it was going to be me and him, and I knew he was going to pit later than me and have fresher tires than me at the end. So I was like, man, I think short pitting at lap 40 really screwed me because, all these guys are fast and could save tires and are going to have better tires than me at the end. But, was able to get it done either way. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Sights are set on you for Michigan. Is there a possibility of 3-0 from Cody Welch?
Well, Michigan is my hometown track. Historically good running at Michigan, but I have never raced the 87s at Michigan. So we'll see if it's another green flag all the way. I think I got the tire saving thing on these cars figured out. So I feel I have a pretty good shot. And it's my home track. I know I'm gonna run good. How's that?
I love it, man. Glad to see your confidence. We'll have to change the super slow on that car to super flow, like it's supposed to be. All right, go and give me your shout outs and talk to me about your sponsors, buddy.
Yep, shout out to Super Slow. I literally just picked this paint up off Trading Paints before the race and thought it was cool. So I kind of started, last week Daytona was the first time I sat down in my rig and thought about racing for a long time. So I didn't have a chance to whip up a paint scheme. I usually run the American flag paint scheme, but maybe we'll throw another one on this car before next week. We'll see. But definitely want to thank everybody at Bandit, all the drivers. They all ran great. Thanks for the broadcast. Thanks to everybody who watches, and thanks to my fiance for putting up with me and letting me do this every week.
Ooh, that must be Miss Wonders out there.
Yes, sir.
All right, Cody Welch, congratulations, buddy, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
You too. All right, Cody Welch with yet another win. What an amazing race it was here for Cody Welch. All three Chevrolets here in the top three, and both second and third place were our Canadians. But what an excellent job, though. I got to admit, the way these guys keep going, how these guys are able to just do so many other things out there, how they were able to keep it green the entire way. I mean, this was excellent racing, especially all the way to the end. A couple little fumbles there at the beginning. It looked like Carter Phillips sidestepped it there, sent himself into the infield. I think Hayden Paul had some trouble out there, as well as Kevin Foster and Ricky Hart as well. But man, oh man, I would love to know what in the world happened to Eddie Hagge out there and what happened to David Lakey. I know the 84 Chevrolet, he was looking to have at least a pretty decent finish here tonight, but he ended up a few laps down as well. But that's going to be it here for Simtrax Broadcasting. Stella will be joining us here soon here in the future, and we'll have her back here in the Bandit Racing League before you know it. But until then, be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.